Good morning. I was close. I'm close. It's just a little bit after 7. Alright? And it's Tuesday, November 2nd. Let me double check. November 2nd, 2021. My name is Terry Morgan. We are here to practice Wudang Taiji. We have part 2 of Wudang Taiji that we're working on now. And through this, we have some repetition from part 1. I've talked about this idea of the forms that repeat, I'm going to say it a different way, the postures that repeat through the form. Okay, it's easier to say it in Chinese and we understand what we're talking about. But with this idea that we have repetition, there's a big chunk that we're doing in part 2 of Wudang style Taiji. Okay, that repeats. This is true for Yang style Taiji, it's true for Wu style Taiji, it's true for Chen style Taiji, it's true for every Taiji system that I have ever seen. There are movements that repeat. Many of these are key movements for Tai Chi itself. So, ward off, roll back, press and push, ward off, pull down, press and Pangu Jian, Saturday Joko. These are fundamentally 8 fundamental directions of Tai Chi. So as we're working through this repetition, the idea that something that's important should be repeated, we have that. We do. Let's get started. All right. We're going to do basic stretch today, and then we're going to go through this. We're going to talk about this repetition piece. As we move into what comes next, and I'm going to show a little bit of that today at the end of the class. As we move into what comes next, we're going to do a little bit more warm-up, and we're going to do some leg sets and some strengthening sets at the beginning of class, so that some of what we're going to do at the end of the form is a little bit easier to do. All right, basic stretch. Feet back, shoulder width apart, stand straight. Pull up through the crown of the head. Open the arms. Hand circle to the front. Back around both sides. Up along the center line. Extend out over the legs. Reach out. Bend the knees. Bend the hips. It's important to keep the knees bent. We want to stretch through the whole leg, not lock the knee and force a stretch on part of the leg. Reach out. All the way up. Elbows drop down. Wrists, fingertips, hands return to your sides. All right, a little bit of a leg stretch. Right leg front, left leg back. 1, 2, into the heel, not into the knee. It just looks like it. All right, into the heel. If I keep my toes up, I can still do this. All right, not into the knee. Open the hip. Change to the other side. The idea here is really pushing in through the hip, down, extend the leg back. The knee does not go forward, everything goes down. And if you need to go down more, the leg has to go back further, right? Or if you're going down more, right? So, this is still straight and solid. And if you're at the same level, you should feel it. Alright, come on back up. It takes a little bit more work to do that, yes. Alright, now, we're going to do repetition today. I'm going to point out as well that I talked about this idea that when I started Wudang style Taiji, there was similar to the warm-up sets that I learned when I started Yang style Taiji. There was another different set of warm-ups that we did with Wudang style Taiji. All right, so some basic physical practice, some basic physical stuff that is common not only to multiple Taiji systems, it's just fundamental for any of the martial arts. It's basic front kick, different postures, and I will have. I'll take a class or so to just talk about all of that. Today, we're doing repetition. All right, in Wudang style Taiji, we have. Let's see. We start from the beginning. Part 1. Wudang style Taiji. Part 1. Feet together, stand straight. Pull up through the crown of the head. Relax through the upper body, shoulders down. And we're not going to go fast, but we're not going to go slow either. Okay? And so ready. Salute. Circulate the breath. Breathe in. Breathe out. One more time, breathe in. Center the weight on the right. Open the left. Turn. And open the center. Up on the left. Down on the right. Up one center line. Press up. Turn 1, 2, 3, 4. Open. Pull down. Turn, push, and pull down. Push again. Shift back. 1, 2, 3. 四掌单掌. 4 directions, turning palm, and come to the front. 3 rings around the moon. 1, 3, and double punch. Dragon and tiger join together. Hands strum loop. Shift forward. Golden wrister. Raise the leg, lift up yin. Palm. Mu. Ji. An. Double cloud hands. Single cloud hands. Hold the ball. Heel. Toes. Ward off, pull down, shift back, ward off, pull down, press, push, cloud hands, single whip, double palm, 小亲啊. White crane spreads its wings, palm in the face. Diagonal climb up. Dragon and tiger join together. Hands strum the loop. Back up. Hamstring the glute and to the right, heel, brushing, step through, both palms out to the left, heel, and brush knee, turn, in, out to the right. Dragon and tigers join together, hamstring the glute, lean forward, step, punch down, turn, deflect downward, parry, and punch. Close the door, and close. Salute. Alright, rest for a minute. Through this series, right? Dragon and tiger join together. Repeat multiple times. We go in different directions. We're going this way, we're going that way. It repeats. Single whip. Next time, it's coming up. We're doing it. Yeah, we're going to do this morning. Pay attention. Cloud hands. Double cloud hands, single cloud hands, repeats multiple times, and is one of the characteristic moves of Wudang Taiji. Nobody else has this, okay? And so we are going to work on it a little bit this morning. It repeats. The brush knee, turn here, go there, ward off, pull down, press and push. It repeats in two directions in three ways. Alright? So as we practice each of these moves, knowing that it's going to repeat, and understanding that it repeats because it's important. That's why this is my interpretation, right? Why do something, why put something in? If you're going to craft a form, if you're going to, right? The old masters put together these forms. I wasn't there. I don't know. I'm learning. Right? They put together these forms. Why did they put certain moves in? What was the basis for this move? Why did they want that move? Why are we repeating this? Why isn't it just a series of 13 moves? There's short forms that have, that's all it is the 13 postures. That's all you do is 13. There's no repetition, it's just all 13. Why this form? Why put more repetition in? Maybe it's a function of the way that we move through those particular movements. Maybe it's the application that underlies those moves. Maybe, what I see is that's an emphasis, right? I'll use myself as an example. And we're getting back to movements. I put my coffee down. So, as a writer, when I'm writing something, there are times when I know that this particular instruction, this particular phrase, this particular sentence needs to be repeated. It requires emphasis. More than just big letters in bold, it needs to be repeated. Okay? I see what we do in our forms as that kind of instruction. This is important. Pay attention to this. These other things are also important, but if you're looking for the foundation, if you're looking for the core that makes the form what it is, that makes the system what it is, it's the system, right? What repeats? What's given emphasis? All right. We just went through a whole series of, I'm gonna start here. So we got word off, pull down, press, and just watch, turn around, raise the leg, lift up in, word off, pull down, press and push, right? Turn around, 2, 3, 4, and single whip. All of that repeats in part 2. All of it. Let's start with part 2. Remain, I'm going to be right here. Wudang Taiji, part 2. Feet together, stand straight. Pull up through the crown of the head. Wait, I need to be over here. I think, yes, I have to go that way. And salute. Open the breath. Pull up through the crown of the head. Breathe in. And breathe out. Breathe in. Shift the weight to the right. Sink. Open the left. Push out through the heel. Pull the right toes in. Push out through the heel. And turn to center. Left. Across. And down. Same as at the beginning. This is exactly the same. Yep, still going. Still the same. And pull down. Push. Now we shift back. Return the tiger to the mountain. And again. Turn. Double clap hands. 1, 2. Hold the ball. Raise the leg, lift up in. Ward off, pull down. Shift back. We've done this before. And down. And again. 1, 2, 3. Hold the ball. 1, 2. Ward off. Pull down. Press. And push. Double clap hands. Single clap hands. And 1, 2. Separate. And out. 1, 2. Turn. And down. Push back the monkey. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2. Turn. And turn. And again. Come around. This is different. Knee to let see bottom. Fan through the back and turn. Come around. Deflect downward. Parry. Punch. We're going this way now, not that way. Relax. Stop for a minute and think about how much of what we just did from part 2 is identical to what we're doing in part 1. And we're going to repeat this series in just a second, but think about it for a second. Just big picture, think about what does this part of the form look like compared to what this part of the form looks like. Right? We get some changes, most definitely. But we also have this entire core set that repeats. Ward off, pull down, press, push, cloud hands, raise the leg, lift up, yin, front kick, hold ball, front kick, turn around, kick the other side. Alright? Ward off, pull down, press, and push. Again, we highly emphasize these four fundamental applications in Wudang Taiji. Now, Saidei is there, and if we're paying attention to what we're doing with both cloud hands, both versions, as well as through several of the ward-off movements. Ward-off does contain collar, shoulder. It's there. Shoulder, hip. It would, you might move somewhere if I hit you with my shoulder. I might. I don't know. But I'm pretty sure you're going someplace if I hit you with my hip. I have stronger hips than I have stronger shoulders, okay? So my hips are stronger than my shoulders. It's normal. This is natural. All right, as we're going to do this again. And I'm going to start this direction with ward off. We're going to come through with cloud hands on the other side and do the other side. Okay? Ward off. Pang. Lu. Ji. On, and yes, foot comes up. Turn. Cloud hands. Hold the ball. 1, 2. Ward off, pull down. Ward off, pull down, press, and push. Alright. This series, and I'm going to start this way. Watch one time. And turn. Hold ball. Up. Pay attention where you put your foot. Alright. So, seriously, pay attention where you put your foot, because I wobbled there. As we move through this series, right, we're going to do it again, and you're going to be with me. This idea of repetition. It's not this that repeats. It's this. Alright? So the focus, the requirement in this segment of the form, paying paying attention to all of these moves individually as we do them, and connecting them into this much longer piece. I use music frequently. I'm not really good at it. I have some ideas, but yeah. So this is kind of like the difference between playing the short piece that you learn when you're first trying to figure out the keyboard, you know, dum 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 dum, some little things, and playing an actual piece of music that has multiple layers and needs a little bit more concentration. Pay attention to, and I talked about this, I'm going to say it again, and I'm going to show this a little bit, then we're in practice. This long as opposed to short, so we're going to stretch it out a bit more. We also have through this series several things that are particular to Wudang Taiji. As I do push, this moves. Pull down. Pull down. Press. Press. Push. Palm, word off. Has it down and up movement. On, push. It down and out. You're going that way. Palm, up and away. Push, down. Pretty much down. That's pretty much it. The direction is round, right? It's not, it's here. So, away, out, and down. This idea comes from turning in the lower dantian. So as I pull in, it's in some way similar to winding a spring. I exaggerated just a little bit to make it visible. This idea, which direction am I going? Which direction do I want my opponent to go? Right? Matters to how we use our internal energy, right? As I sing, this is on, push. Palm translates to English as push. On translates to English as push. We're going to pay attention to on right now. This is the downward. As I set, roll back, under, and come out. All right? It's part of our practice, right? Paying attention to how the waist turns. Also, we're going to do some more of them. This is the advanced analysis here, folks. Right? As we turn into press, okay? Downward off, you're going to press. there is an opportunity to go all the way down. I'm not going there today, but the opportunity exists. You go all the way down and you come all the way back up. Again, not doing that today. My emphasis today is on what we're doing here with the waist. Because as we turn, this moves. I mentioned that the cow, the shoulder or the hip, 再来就高 shoulder, hip, my hip is stronger than my shoulder. From here, as I turn my waist and sink, my hip joins together with my shoulder, elbow with the knee. As I turn, my arm is not doing all that much. It's the rest of my body that pulls. So, pull down isn't about this. It's not. Yeah, I was trying to play with that. I'm going to do that for a second. I am going to do that for a second. Not quite what I want, but it's closer. So this idea of all the way down, this has to set, weight has to be behind the leg sufficiently that you can go down. And there has to be sufficient strength in the supporting leg to do that. It's not easy. If you're 5 years old, it's easy, but okay? Or if you've been doing it for a long time, right? I've been out of practice, and I'm talking about this because this is one of the things that we are going to work on. This ability to bring this movement all the way to the floor. Okay? So, the repetition part, we're going to do 3 times. Pay attention to this whole thing. Alright? And we're going to start with hold the ball on the left side, right leg, we're going to go this way. Alright, we're going to start with that. Pay attention to this idea that we need to open and use the waist much more than we need to pay attention to what the arms are doing. Okay? If the waist is working well and the arms are close to where they should be, you'd be fine. Ready on the left. Hold the ball. Ready the right leg. And pay attention to your posture. Pay attention to your lower back. Open the lower back. Ready. Breathe in. Breathe out. Breathe in. Breathe out. Follow through. Han, Lu, Ji, and clap hands. Use the waist. Turn. More waist. Less arms. Open. And down. Out. Come back. Clap hands one more time, and turn. Use the waist. 1, 2, and open. Stop. Alright. Turning waist. The same concept as children's toy, a hula hoop. You spin the waist around this concept and go the other way. Very much in play right here. Very much. Except it's not this outward thing that you're trying to move around, it's this inward thing that you're moving around. And to be clear, we want to think of the tian, all of them, 1, 2, 3, as particularly the lower tian, chi hai, the sea of chi, as a ball. It's not a point. It's not this place on the outside of my skin, right? It's, if I put my hand over my heart isn't here. My heart's inside my chest, right? It's not out here. It's under a couple layers of muscle. It's under some bone. It's nicely protected up here in the top part of my chest, all right? We have a similar idea behind this idea from the lower dantian. Okay, the lower dantian is a ball. It's the yin-yang ball, and it's got 2 swimming fish, and the swimming fish always swim together, and they're always connected. Yin fish and yang fish, that always together. They complement each other. You can't have one without the other. Not really. You're out of balance if you have only one. So we want to cultivate both. We focus on doing that as part of our practice through turning the waist. As I turn this way, around, this way, this side, can go this way, right? That change, that ability to move is one of the unique, very much unique qualities of our Wudang style Tai Chi. Let's practice this one more time. Pay attention, just a series, right? So we're going to start with hold the ball, raise the leg, lift up in. This whole series. Pay attention to what we're doing through the waist. Pay attention to how that contributes to what happens with the hips and the knees. Okay? I've emphasized let the waist move the arms. Now I want to pay attention to what happens with the lower part of the body. Through the waist. Ready? Hold the ball. Breathe in. Breathe out. Open. Breathe in. And breathe out. 1, 2. Breathe in, breathe out. And breathe as you wish for now. Press. Push. And turn. Clap hands. Pay attention to the lower body. Set. How does what the waist is doing help or hinder what the lower body is doing. Relax. All right, that last opening here is from part 2 of Wudang style Tai Chi. All right, I said at the beginning that I was going to show a little bit more of, and we're going to do this series one more time. Just stay with me here a minute. I said at the beginning I was going to show just a little bit for the difference that is coming up. All right. So, part 2, we come through, and we've done a series that ended with just after single whip. So I'm here, turn, cloud hands. Yeah, you're in 1. Right? It comes back. Alright, so single whip, cloud hands, 1. Yeah, I need to start back. I need to start over here. This is it. Don't worry about this. You do part of it with me, and this part of it you do with me, and then I'm going to show the ending where we're getting ready to turn around. So we're here, single whip. We're on a diagonal, you're on the 45. Down, side, up. I turn all the way around, cloud hands. And again, cloud hands. Double cloud hands. Last time, 1, 2, 3, 4. Alright, let me do this again. Just this last piece from cloud hands. Okay, so I did single whip, and I'm going to side rhino horn. I did need to work on the translation for that. Alright, cloud hands, 1, 2, 3. As you bring the foot down, it comes down. It's not coming down quietly. Alright, so here, come around. This one comes down, up, out, and around. Alright, this, yeah. Let's do it again. Needs work, right? The ending, we're going to work on a lot, okay? The takeaway from class today, as we pay attention to this, I'm going to do it again, as we pay attention to these connections, right? So we've got double cloud hands and single cloud hands coming through different moves. Ward off, roll back, press, and push. Cloud hands. All right? Now we start from the rhino jabs with its horn. That's the idea behind this. All right? So turn and come around. Up, down, and around. This lower tian. Alright? The idea is to pay, what's the direction of the circle? Bring it inside, not outside. As we move through this, the idea, keep in mind, is we're going into something that repeats. That's why I'm calling this out this morning, is it repeats. Turn the waist. I'm going to start over here. Single whip. On the 45. Shift down. 1, 2. Down, around, step, cloud hands. 1. Do it again. 2. One more time. This time up. Alright. This series, again, pay attention today. We're going to close for today. Pay attention to the idea that we're moving through into something else. And we do drop the weight. Okay, that thunk on the floor should be there. It's supposed to be there. Every practice that I ever attended, it was always there from Professor Liu, so it needs to be there. If your foot was under mine, it would not be comfy. Alright, let's do, just because, one more time, from raise the leg, lift up in, this side. Last time. Hold the ball. Ready on the right. Breathe in and breathe out. Breathe in. Breathe out. Relax through the back. Open and pull down. Use the waist. Open the legs. Open the hip. Support the body through the torso. And extend. Down. And turn. And 1, 2, cross hands, open. Stay there. Relax. Alright. This, turn the waist, go this way, go that way. It takes a little bit of practice to do this circle thing. It takes a little bit of work to, first of all, figure it out and internalize it. It's not all, this is not the kind of practice that once you know it, you can do it. This is the kind of practice that you need to develop. Okay? You get a piece of it, you get an understanding of it, you know what you're supposed to be looking for, and the next thing is to try and figure out how to do it. It may be a little awkward at first. I know I was. It was really awkward for me when I was first trying to learn this. Alright, and it may take a little bit of, it's going to take some effort. The more you try, the easier it gets. And at a certain point, it's just there. It's like so many other things that we do. We work on our breath. We work on the timing of our breath. We work on the timing of our movements. We try to connect the chi and the breath and the movement so that everything is all working together all at once, all together at the same time. Alright? We try. That's what we work for. That's our goal. This turning, right? Connecting that, next level, it's not something that is characteristic of any other Tai Chi system. Chen style has its spiral, that spins and comes out. Very effective, very effective. But this twisting, turning, it's Wudang style. All right? I will be back tomorrow. Wudang style Tai Chi sword. Everything that I talked about today is relevant to what we're doing tomorrow and requires that we extend it not just through the hand, but through the sword as well. So this idea extends through the sword. Thursday and Friday, Qigong. Foundations on Thursday. So I call them basic sets, 1 through 9. If any of what we're doing in here, in this class, is an issue or you want to get better at it, the fundamentals class is a good place to start. Advanced Qigong on Friday, and I'm back next week with everything all once again. I appreciate you being here. Thank you so much.